Hi, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? You have just entered the happy zone. This is my favorite hour of the week. We have so much fun here. And tonight we have two wonderful guests. One, they're both great friends of mine. I love them very much. And our first guest is Dan Pardo. He's a musical director, a teacher, a conductor, everything. He does everything. He plays a ton of instruments, and he's also working at the Stonewall tonight. So we're going to pop him in as soon as we can, so that he can go to work because he's due to work at 9, and so he's playing hooky. But anyway, he's going to be our first guest, and then we have a surprise, special, magical guest coming in. So Leo, hit that promo, baby.
Yeah, I'm a big fish, small pond, days free and my nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. I'm as famous, I'm as famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am.
Thank you, Leo. So Leo is going to be joining us as soon as he can. Okay, so I think Dan is pretty queued up. So, but what we want to do is I want to check in on.
Yeah, I'm a big fish, small pond, days free and my nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. I'm as famous as I.
Oh, sorry. So I got bumped out for.
Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am.
Okay, I guess we're back. I keep getting bumped out, Leo. I don't know why that is. Anyway, Lori Towers, my home on Tuesday nights. We love to have you home. So, Lori, we love you, and we're so glad you're here. Lori is an amazing DJ, journalist, music historian, feminist, press agent, amazing person. Rena Crugnali Bergie, hello and happy Tuesday. That's my cousin from Massachusetts, our family project manager, an amazing human being. Peter Feliciano, Peter, woohoo! Of Peter Feliciano Fine Jewelry. He is doing amazing things. Please go to his Instagram page, his Facebook page. He makes the most beautiful Latin luxury items, so go check that out. Rick Sudi Caritas, our friend, screenwriter, comedian, songwriter. Go and check out his page. He's got a ton of stuff going on, books on Amazon, everything you can imagine. John Pietero, we need to be here. Yes, you do. I would be so sad if you weren't here, but I know, if you're busy, you're busy. But John, we're going to have you on the show soon because I know you have a book coming out, book of poetry, and we want to talk about that. Alana Diaz, who I saw today, my buddy, that Cuban diva, is here, and she is working with one of our guests, Dan Pardo, who we're going to pop in momentarily. And I said, cut Dan some slack tonight because he's going to be on the show because he's doing some amazing things. And also, our mystery guest is not so mysterious, Danielle Alexandria Alchemy. She is going to pop in a little while because it's a very magical time in talk about the stars being aligned and all kinds of stuff happening in the universe. Who better than our expert, Danielle of Danielle Alexandria Alchemy? So I say, and Leo's having some trouble with his camera, so he'll pop in when he can. But G. Enrique, yes, our friend G. Enrique, who is an amazing musical director, piano player, is also Mr. April in our calendar, our Nothing But the Apron calendar. There he is. So this calendar is so magical. Speaking of magical, that's my word of the night tonight because everyone in it is so adorable and amazing. But look at how mystical G is. He is holding up a skull in honor of Shakespeare because they have the same birthday in April. Shakespeare and G have the same birthday. So that's what he went with. He went with a Shakespeare theme. I wouldn't be that smart to even think of that. And I kind of think he had to explain it to me, but I have got it. Anyway, G is our person of the month. So I still have a couple. I have a couple left. I have about maybe 12, 15 left. If you want them, I'll get them right out to you. They're $10. You cannot get a more delightful item for $10 than our Nothing But the Apron calendar. And on the back are all our sexy calendar people. And next year is already filling up. It's like ridiculous. I had a conversation today with my friend Sean Patrick Murtaugh, who is going to be in it next year. How sexy is that? Okay, so Leo, when you can't pop in, you will. Don't worry about it. I know, but we want to get talking about sexy as hell. Dan, you know I'm always flirting with you. You are not just so talented, you are also so sexy and so humble. And so, Dan, I know you are under a time crunch, but I want to congratulate you on your Mac nomination.
Thank you. Thank you.
Piano
A
bar.
first time nominee for me.
That's
How many
amazing.
how many times have you won and or been nominated, Maria?
I've won twice, once for Song of the Year and once for Piano Bar person of whatever. I can't remember what it's called, Piano Bar Entertainer of the Year. But I have been nominated every year since like 2000, 2000 or something like that. But for a while, I was the Susan Lucci of the Max because I was nominated, but I never won. But I did win for Song of the Year 2004. It's called Kindness Makes Me Cry. And then I won for Piano Bar Entertainer. So, but it's fun and amazing. But Dan, may I just say that I'm really impressed, but not surprised, that you are musically directing the Mac Awards because that is no small or easy feat.
Well, it's I kind of have an inside track. So the director this year is Amy Walk, and Amy and I met when I music directed a project for Netflix called John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch.
Oh,
Because
I love that. I didn't know you
yeah,
musically directed that.
I did. So a lot of what Amy does is tutoring Broadway kids. So,
Right,
she's working on the Who's Tommy now because they have a couple of Broadway kids in that one. She worked on like the the Ferryman and a ton of stuff. But we had 10 children for that Netflix special, so she was called to be the tutor slash child wrangler. And so she knew that I had music directing experience and working in kind of crazy situations because that was a chuckle and a half just to kind of get that organized and uh,
yeah, but that's a big undertaking. The Mac Awards it's at Symphony Space.
mhm.
It's April 15th, on Monday, April 15th. It starts at 7, but you're going to be getting there early as
Oh,
hell.
I'll be there all day, and because it's really we only with the band we have my friend Matsu on drums and Matt Sharfglass, who's also nominated for a Mac Award for Best Instrumentalist on bass.
Right, he's really good. I've heard him.
He and I've been working together for years. We just did a show at the Laurie Beachman on Friday, but he and I play for a group that has a Mac Award of their own called Marquee Five, and we've been playing with them for over a decade. So
Wow, that's fantastic. Now, Dan, you work at Stonewall, Marie's Crisis, at the Duplex, Brandy's, Mama's. Do you work at Mama's as well?
I sub at Mama's. The only ones I actually have real shit like permanent shifts at are Stonewall and the Townhouse. The Townhouse up on
Oh,
the Upper
right, the
East Side.
townhouse. Yeah,
A little different vibe, but actually I really enjoy that place because there's a lot of regulars. So
right.
you get to know what everyone likes to sing. Some people actually even bring their book. Um,
Wow,
but
cool.
so I'm there on the weekends mostly.
What's
But
your so people can find you every week at the townhouse?
Saturday and Sunday nights. Saturday at 9, Sunday at 7.
Wow. Okay. And Stonewall every Tuesday, right?
Tuesday. Mm-hmm.
But you sub so much, Dan. Like if you follow Dan, just go to his page. You'll see he's all, or just friend him on Facebook, and you'll see Dan is always somewhere really, really fun.
Yeah, I was at Brandy's last night. It's always a good time there.
I have worked with you many times, and at mostly at Brandy's, and you're
Mm-hmm.
always lovely, Dan. You're just such a happy person, and you're like a channel for music.
Oh,
You're a great musician. You're super smart, but you just really enjoy it, and you're a great vehicle for music to come through you, and you share it
mm.
with others. And I really love that about you.
Well, I love it too, because to be able to play in piano bar and kind of create something that's spontaneous, it's
Mm,
one thing to prepare a cabaret and to work some arrangements. I like that side of the music world too, but to kind of go into something with no rehearsal and just to trust each other
mhm.
to kind of make something that is totally ephemeral, that just kind of stops existing the moment the song is over and will never happen the same way again.
Yes, you're
I mean
right.
that's kind of special.
You know what? You just
And
said a word that I didn't think of, but you're right, Dan. Trust.
yeah.
We that work in this business, that do this piano bar thing, we grow to love each other and trust each other
Hmm.
because we're out there kind of like, it's like flying by the seat of your pants every night.
I love playing auditions for the same reason. I've told people there's no greater feeling when that person who's going in for a role opens the door and they have a sigh of relief to know that you're behind the piano.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like, what better validation can you have that says I'm going to do something vulnerable for the next 2 minutes, and I'm so glad to have you in my corner. And as far as I'm concerned, accompanists, pianists, music directors, they need to be the biggest champions of singers, because directors, choreographers in a theatrical context, they, after opening night, they go away. Conductors
Yeah,
have to stay around and play every show, so you really need to have that positive relationship with the people you're working with, uh, and
absolutely.
and that's really, above all things, what I try to bring to the table uh, when I offer my services as a pianist and a collaborator.
Well, like I said, the thing for me that I love about you is that if I'm working with you and I whatever I put in front of you or just ask, like you never even make a face. Like sometimes people are like you can see it or it doesn't, but you're just like sure. And I tend to have things in different keys, and you're just super easygoing, and that is
Mm.
just delightful. So thank you. I
Oh,
appreciate
of
that.
course.
As a singer, I really appreciate that.
Well,
Now,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say, Dan, but I didn't know that you were a conductor, and I just learned that about you. And it also says transcriptionist.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Is
A lot of times when I'm working on a piece of musical theater, especially new musicals, um, the the discipline of writing scores, writing sheet music, writing songs, um, and I don't want to say it's waned, because there's always been a long tradition of composers who don't necessarily have the technical skill to notate their own music. There's a very famous story that Bob Merrill, who was the composer of many shows, including Carnival, Love Makes the World Go Round, he wrote
right?
all the melodies on like a little toy xylophone. He could,
Wow.
someone like Harvey Schmidt, who wrote the Fantastics, which is a very, very lush piano score, which he played himself. He couldn't read his own music.
Wow.
There's a lot of varying levels of skill when it comes to the discipline of musical theater. And I happen to be pretty good at hearing something and being able to write it out and arrange it.
That's
And
amazing.
so I bring it back to John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch. That composer is a guy named Eli Bolin. He and I have been working together for, God, since 2007 now, like 17 years, because he came across a chart that I had written for a friend of his, and he was putting together a show at Ars Nova off Broadway, just a cabaret, and he needed like maybe 4 or 5 songs transcribed, written out for other people to play and sing.
Right.
And so it started this journey with us, and now we've done, multiple off-Broadway shows and regional things, and these TV projects. And we did a reading a couple months ago has it might be the break I'm looking for. I'm hoping, but we had a very starry reading. I guess that was back in the summer. Yeah.
Wow.
But
This is
that's what I mean
so
by transcriptionists.
okay, so now I understand. That's really impressive. Not tonight, but at another point, I'm going to connect you with my musical director, who's my best friend, Lynn Portis, because
Mm-hmm.
she is like you. She's just a very grounded, um, incredible musician that like appreciates so many things, and she works
Oh,
on
hi, Lynn.
so you two will complete. You'll be so musically compatible. It's not even funny.
Well,
So
if there's one thing I've learned about you, Maria, is that you're good people and you know good people.
oh,
So
thanks, Dan. Well, you're
if
one of them, honey. Now,
if you know,
I know you got to go. I don't want to keep you too long, but I do want to talk about you're an avid cyclist, right?
I am. So when I was working at the Goodspeed Opera House, I was living in housing that was about 7 or 8 miles away from the from my job, and so rather than driving or taking a van every day, I decided to become a commuter cyclist. So 15 miles a day or so for 3 years that I lived in Connecticut, and then when I moved to the city back in 2014, I kept at it. I was biking in and out of Brooklyn. Now I live all the way uptown. I didn't bike today because of the rain, but
Yeah.
I have many times.
Yep.
And for the third time this year in July, I'm going to be riding my bike from Staten Island to Niagara Falls, 500.
Unbelievable. I have chills, Danny.
So it's 560 miles. Um, and I'm still working on my campaign fundraising wise, but it's all to raise money for cancer research organized by Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Treatment Center that's centered in Buffalo. They do amazing transformative work, a lot of clinical testing, a lot of trials whose research goes all over the world. They have great foundational support. So last year, every dollar that was raised through the Empire State Ride was matched with 23 additional dollars by outside grants. So they're really well organized. The ride is incredible. All you have to do is kind of get on your bike and go every day. They set up camp for you. They take your luggage.
Oh,
They have
Danny, that's so
breakfast and
beautiful.
dinner. And you meet some wonderful people because it's a big undertaking, but it's not an impossible ride. It's very manageable, and they do a lot of things to kind of make it even more manageable. So people who go aren't necessarily thrill seekers. They're people for whom cancer is an important issue, and
Yes.
that makes and that
And
makes it really special.
now, Dan, I want you to feel free, please, tomorrow, whenever, to post that on my Maria Gentili page. Just
Mm,
share it to my page, and then I will share it to the What's the Story with Maria page.
okay, I
Okay?
will do that, and
Because let's get some. Because I remember last year I donated, and
mm,
I it was because I just couldn't believe like what you were doing and how wonderful, and that I know you dedicate that to your mom every year, and
I
I am
do,
so moved because
and.
we have that in common. Both our
Mm.
moms, we lost.
And unfortunately, the longer I ride, the more people I have to add to that list. Cancer
I
is really,
I
it's
know,
it's really devastating.
I
So,
know, and it's just really touched my heart that you did that for your mom. So
mm,
we're gonna share it for you, Dan. Well, let's remind everybody. Dan Pardo, Pardo, is musically directing the MAC Awards this year, which are Monday, April 15th at Symphony Space, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous theater. Big too. So, and that's a huge undertaking. So we're super proud of you, Dan. I will be
thank
at
you.
the MACs.
I
I'll see you
finished.
there.
I have. Uh, okay, am I still on? Okay, hi.
No, go
Sorry.
ahead, honey.
I was just saying that we have a couple big medleys that we're piecing together for the opening and the opening back two. And I finished one of them. I was working on the other one when I left here tonight. So it's going to be good. We
I
have
can't wait. And Alana just said something that you had worked on. Alana says, Dan Pardo helped transcribe a duet my friend Igor,
Ego. Mm-hmm.
and I released. He's incredible. If
Mm-hmm.
Alana says you're incredible, you are, because she's such an amazing singer. So Dan, we're proud of you. I'm just crazy about you. I love you very much. I feel like I've known you a long, long time
I
because
know.
your
It's
heart is gigantic.
well
And
that look in the mirror because the same could be said for you, my friend.
oh,
And you make
okay.
the best sausage.
Well, that's
Give me
right. You
this.
like my
Give,
spicy
give
sausage
me the
guy.
give me the spicy sauce.
All right, you just let me know, Dan, and I'll cook some up for you. I
All right.
promise. All
Love
right,
you.
sweetheart. Love you, and I'll see you at the Mac Awards.
I'll
Okay.
see you at the Mac if not before.
And if you're in town, everybody, Dan is at Stonewall tonight upstairs, piano bar. So go and see Dan and Alana and Miles. All right, bye, sweetheart. Love you. Oh, I love him so much. Oh, he makes me emotional. He's such a sweet, sweet, sweet man. And he also, which I wanted to bring it up, but we were talking about other things. He plays like a bunch of different instruments. And I like to throw these musician parties, which I used to do at my home, which I'm going to start doing again. But I started doing them at Stonewall every like once a year or twice a year, and just inviting my musician friends before the other people would get there. And Dan would always show up with like a concertina, which is like a little mini accordion, but different, or other things. Like he's just a really cool guy and very smart and very humble. So let's see. Let's check in with our people. So please go and follow Dan Pardo, DanPardo. Follow his page, and we'll set up the links for that. And he is also nominated for Piano Bar Instrumentalist downtown. As are, this stuff is hard because a lot of our friends, they're almost all our friends that are nominated for these things. I think Kenny Green is nominated downtown. Brandon James Gwynn, Dan Pardo, Jerry Diefenbach. There's a couple that maybe that's it. I don't know if I forgot anybody, but anyway, and then there's Uptown.
Yaz and Billy and hi.
Yeah, Yaz is Uptown, I believe. So there's thank you, Billy Stritch. They put him in that category. That's
And let's see, Allison Nussbaum. Don't we know Allison?
yeah, she's Uptown. What they did this year, which I actually like, what they used to do is they would do like female piano bar entertainer category, and then there would be a male entertainer, and they would put all of us together. What they do is the clubs nominate you, right? And then they send out like a list of like 12 to 20 people. And then the MAC members vote on that, and they boil it down to like 5. And that's the way it usually goes. Now, what they did this year, which I love, is they put everybody together, men and women, was not distinguished by male or female entertainer, which I think is really cool. And then, but what they did do to separate is they did Uptown, Downtown. So I work at Brandy's, which is considered Uptown, but I also work at Stonewall and the Duplex, which is Downtown. So because 2 of my clubs are downtown, I got in the downtown category. And by the way, our friend Susan Campanero is in the same category as me. And, she's one of my best buds, she and Lynn. So it is an honor to be nominated with one of my best friends. And we are going to the Max together, and it's going to be really fun.
And T-Rex too, and Miles.
Right. T-Rex, Miles. So you see like female and male down. T-Rex, Miles, me, Susie, and there's one more, I think, right?
Yes, Maddie McCloskey from Marie's.
Right. Maddie's great. It's all nice people. It's all good people that work really hard. So if you're a MAC member, go and vote. And we'll see you at the MAC Awards, which again, and tickets to the MAC Awards you can get if you go to macnyc.com. So Manhattan Association of Cabarets. So macnyc.com. You go there, click on the link, and the show is at Symphony Space. And what they do is, it is an award show, of course, but they have lots of musical numbers as well. And they usually have a really funny host. Yes, Leo.
Didn't we go live there a couple of years ago from the MAC Awards?
You are right.
And we had Karen Mack as our backstage reporter, and you were on stage doing your thing with the powerhouse of ladies.
Oh my God, that was I forgot about that. We did Leo and I took a total leap of faith. I said, "What are we going to do? It's a Tuesday. Should we cancel the show?" And he's like, "Well, we could go live from the Max." I'm like, "How am I going to do that? Like, I'm going to be on stage a lot of times. I'm going to be backstage." She's like, "Let's just try." So what Leo did, which was amazing, is he ran the bulk of the show. And then wouldn't you do something like some out of the like world news or something?
Yeah, live from
What?
This is a What's the Story with Maria News live update.
That was great. And then we came live from the Mac Awards, and Karen Mack was so cool. It was me, Anna Anderson, T-Rex, Liz Lark Brown, and Tara Martinez. All great girls, great singers. And we did I Need a Hero. I Need a Hero. So we did it live. It was so much fun. And Wilcie Ann Hall was the musical director that year. But Karen Mack held up my phone because I went live from my phone. And she held it up while we were back. It was really cool. And Leo ran the whole show.
That was fun.
It was
Raul,
really
we were
fun.
at the Duplex, by the way. When you were in New York, we were at the Duplex, not in Hell's Kitchen, but in the Village.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So Lynn Portis calls out Leo, Peter Feliciano, thank you. And I'll share that after the show. Please, I'll share it as well. Yes, for Dan Pardo does that.
That's the link for donations there for the cancer.
He downplays it, but he is in such amazing shape. Sometimes I embarrass him because he's so cute and he easily blushes.
You don't make him take his shirt off when he plays, do you?
No, but I do make him get up from behind the piano sometimes. Because he's just in amazing shape. And I go, Dan, come up here and turn around. Show everybody.
Sometimes you have to do laundry at the bar and you got it, and you need a washboard.
Right. And he's a straight guy. He's married. But I think that it's okay to, show people how sexy. Yeah, he is. That's why he's an anomaly, as they say. But anyway, so Lori says, I think John and I will be there. He's looking it up now. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know who's performing, but they always have amazing performances. And it's at Symphony Space. It's really a cool thing. Yeah. I mean, if you want to go. It is open to everybody, and it is very entertaining. And there's some great people there and great performances, and why not? So let's see who's checked in. Raul, do you know Raul?
Yep, Raul and I went to high school together.
Oh my God.
But he came out to New York a couple times. We hung out.
Okay, so Raul says, what bar were you at when we were singing in Hell's Kitchen?
And that's why I just told him the Duplex. Instead, it wasn't the Village. It was in the Village, not in Hell's Kitchen.
Okay. So nice to see you, Raul. Welcome to our Tuesday night family.
Oh, there's my buddy Rosanna.
Estrada.
Mm-hmm.
She's your friend too, Leo.
She's my friend. Now she knows me from way back, like 20-year-old Leo. Like
really?
Slap around stupid Leo. Yep, and she did. I always have those, for some reason, God has given me wonderful women that are strong and independent, and there's only a few of you that I allow to when I need it.
Well, go ahead. I have to sneeze. Excuse me. You know what? If you don't know when spring arrives, just hang around me because I start sneezing as soon as the trees start budding. Crazy.
You had a show the other day with your kids, right?
Yes.
And how are the kids? Because my kids are Twitter-pated. Do you remember that word from Bambi?
Twitter-pated? No, what's that?
When spring comes along, everybody gets Twitter-pated. Now, I don't know. I know how it's doing for a teen. I have a teenager in there. She's, oh, the boy. But then I have these little kids that are just like, boing, 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 boing. Spring is sprung, girls and boys.
Right.
And I'm like, kids.
Well, I teach mostly teenagers these days, and they're all.
Oh, so you get all the love stuff.
Oh my God. And the drama of teenagers, and the girls are so much worse than the boys. I'm going to just say it.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to drama, I mean, who's the most dramatic boy I know? My dad. My 88-year-old dad is drama central. My sister's always like, Dad is a teenage girl. You know that. I'm like, I know.
I just want to ask if, and I know this is coded, so nobody will get it but me and Maria, but how's the plate?
Oh, the plate is, my sister threw it out. My sister
Okay.
grabbed it and threw it in the trash. Anyway, speaking of my sister Carla, so cute. She broke her wrist a few weeks ago. She's in good spirits. She's bored out of her mind. But she and her husband are going to Dallas this weekend because Monday is the eclipse.
Oh, that's
And
right.
the lunar, is it the solar eclipse or the lunar eclipse? Or anyway,
It's a, we have an expert. So
I know we have an expert that's going to tell us all about this. She was texting me about it this week, and I said, you know what, Leo, I think we need to have Danielle on.
and she looks. There's something. She looks just a little bit
Older?
wiser. I don't
Right,
know what
like
it
a
is.
couple of minutes, yeah.
Yeah,
So should we put our hands together for our friend, our spiritual medium, our
I'm gonna summon
psychic?
her. I'm gonna
Yes,
summon her.
she
Summon.
does a million trillion different things, and we had to have her on because there she is.
It worked. Leo is magic.
Leo is magic. Danielle Alexandria of Danielle Alexandria Alchemy. Danielle, thank you for saying yes and being
Of course.
available.
Of course. Thank you for having me on. I love hanging out with you guys, whatever the
Well,
occasion.
we adore you. And who better to know? There's so much right now, a lot, right? There's so much happening astrologically, solar eclipse happening, the everything. You're going to tell us all about it. So we are so happy to have you. So there's a lot going on. Tell us what's happening.
Well, first of all, I'm glad Leo's camera is working, and I noticed a little something around here. What is that you're wearing?
Leo, what is that?
My protection and my energy absorber and giver out.
Yeah.
Remember the 70s?
Where'd you get that, Leo?
Almighty Isis. Oh, but that was on her head though, right?
Yeah.
Huh? My friend, my little sister over there, my sister from another mister, Miss Danielle.
Oh my God.
Secondary Italian sister.
I love it. Leo loves Italians.
My comadre.
Your comadre, that's right. Leo loves it. He learned all that stuff from Rena Crignali.
Well,
And who
comadre
says
is
hi,
like
Danielle?
comadre in Spanish is what comadre is in Italian.
Right, absolutely. It's like a friend. They are technically, they can be the godparent of your child, but it's kind of like a neighbor. The next best thing to a family member is a compadre or comadre, for sure. Hi, Danielle, says Rena. And Lynn is saying, your dad, LOL, Drama Central. Oh, no, Lynn, I don't even think I told you about the last thing he did, which I'll call you and tell you about it. And then, he is such a liar. I caught him doing something. It wasn't that bad of a day. It's just he almost caused a fire, right? So I caught him, and he was like, I don't know where that came from. I was like, and I won't tell you much, but I'll say, Dad, you either did it and you copped to it, and you tell me you did it and you made a mistake, which I make mistakes every day. That's option one. Option two is you say, I don't know, and I assume you have dementia, and we start thinking about where we're going to put you. Or three, it was a ghost that came into the house and almost burnt the house down.
Very possible, though.
And guess what he chose? Guess what he chose? He goes like this. I think 3.
Yeah.
I go, so you're going with ghost?
Men.
Going with ghost.
He's still going to blame your mother. He's still going to blame
oh my God, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that.
That's funny.
Oh my God. You're probably right. But anyway, so my sister finally went over there because she had fallen, and she's just cast. And finally, after like a week, she went over there. She's like, Dad, what happened? He's like, I don't know. But so she took the plate because I had left it in there. Everything was totally melted, like ridiculous. What happened? And she threw it in the trash. She goes, okay, we're going to pretend this never happened, and we're going to move on. Unbelievable. She's like, forget about it. She's taking the role of his disciplinary. I just I try to assist her in everything she does. But anyway, okay, so speaking of Carla, she's going to Dallas with her husband. Yes. Leah, my niece, is going to meet them there, and they're going to take in the solar. Is it the solar eclipse?
It's the solar. Yes, it's a
Okay.
total solar. There we go. I was just going to say, Leo has some photos we
Oh my
exchanged
gosh.
today.
So tell
So
us
you
what
can
this
see-
means, buddy.
So this is the where you see that orangey red stripe. That is the complete path of totality. Now, this is
Wow.
one of the few eclipses that will be visible in all of America. So no matter what state you're in, you're going to be able to view it. But there is partial viewability, if that's a word, in the
Mhm.
other states. Now, where this line is, that's where it's going to be a total solar eclipse. So in all the cities in that line, from all the way in Texas, where Carla's going to be, till all the way up in Maine, is
Oh,
going to be
wow.
total blackout for several minutes.
Really?
Yes, so it's a complete total solar eclipse. This is where the moon and the moon's shadow completely comes between us and the sun. So the moon will completely block out the sun for everyone in that line.
What are you laughing at, Leo?
It's funny.
I think the red states are supposed to look directly at it.
Oh,
Leo, stop
you
that.
shouldn't go and get those glasses then that you need.
Yeah. Oh my
No,
God.
no glasses. They don't need them.
Listen. Okay. So this is good that this came up. We do need glasses to look at
Yes.
this. It's not suggested at all that you look straight up at an eclipse.
No,
By
you
the
don't.
way,
You
it can
don't.
also
Smart
damage-
people won't do that.
Yeah, well, it can also damage your phones and your
Oh,
cameras.
mhm.
So get extra glasses and cut them out if you don't want to buy the special $8 more priced phone thing. That is the same thing. But put a cover over your lenses as well if you plan to photograph it.
Really?
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm so glad you
And
told us that.
all of the glasses are upped in price now. So
Yeah.
if you didn't get them yet, most libraries throughout the country are giving away at least 2 pairs per household for free if you are a member of your local library.
Wow, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Can't we just get the paper and the pen and go old school?
What would
I mean, you can. It's probably not
Paper and the
as
pen,
effective.
and you put it, and then you look at the ground, and it's supposed to happen on the ground when it goes through the.
we used to
the
do that in
pinhole.
school when we were kids?
Yeah.
And
that's
then
old
wasn't there a
school.
shoebox thing too?
Mhm.
Like you could
Yeah.
look through a shoebox. That was like such a big deal when I was in school. When I was a kid, oh my God. a
Yeah, I mean,
shoebox
back
was-
when Galileo, Copernicus, and I were hanging out, that's what we would use.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rick Sudi Caritas says, won't make them any more blind than they are, the red states. Well, do you remember when he who shall not be named, hashtag dumbass, looked up directly? Whatever.
I think they were using some of his pictures in some of the YouTube captions and promos because of that.
Just be careful. Don't be a hero. Don't be a hero. Don't look up. But I'm gonna get some of those glasses. I think somebody said something like certain supermarkets are selling them too, or CVS.
Everyone's selling them. I got mine, a while ago so that they were better
Cheaper.
priced because now they gouge them. But everyone has them sold. And, if you don't have enough in your party or to do your cameras, go to your local library. Support your libraries. They're very important. So
I think I am already a member of the New York Public Library because I get stuff from them all the time. So
Yeah.
I think I am.
Yeah.
So that's good to know, Danielle. Wonderful. Now we just Rizzo is saying hello. We
Hi,
are on the
Rizzo.
come up here, Rizzo. Don't play hard to get because she knows I have treats. See, she
Ah.
loves carrots, so she knows I have them. If you come up here, I'll give you a carrot, but not.
Come on,
if you
Riz,
don't.
join the party.
I know she will in a minute. Now we are right on the heels of two things. Well, a few things. It's this equinox, right? Spring, not equinox.
So
Yes.
so
Go
the
ahead.
equinox was March 19th. It's normally the 21st of March. The equinox is when we in the northern hemisphere will start spring. This year it was a couple days early, which threw me off and a lot of people off because leap year. So it was a little bit earlier this year. So we had that transition with the equinox. And then today, yesterday into today, we started Mercury retrograde again.
And a lot of people have been talking about Mercury retrograde. So what does that mean to the average? I mean, the non-astrology person.
So Mercury goes retrograde several times a year. It's a period of a few weeks. This year and this month, we're actually lucky because we have it all contained within 1 month. Normally, when it falls, it's kind of flip-flopping and splitting the months in half, and I just don't really like when it does that. So I very much appreciate that we're just going to have to worry about it in April. It's from April 1st to the 25th. And you don't really have to worry, but it is a period when, if you were to look in the sky with a telescope at Mercury during these few weeks, it appears as if it's going backwards because of the direction that we are moving in. It's, of course, it's not actually going backwards, but how we
Interesting.
see it and perceive it, that's what it looks like. And so when you're in a retrograde, it's a period to redo, replenish, rest.
Ah. Oh, I
And
love that.
yeah, and it happens coincided with whatever that planet rules over. So Mercury rules over technology and communication.
Yeah, that I
And
do hear people say that all
yeah,
the time. Let me just, I'm just checking on our, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
that's
So
okay.
now, so that's going to be done April 25th,
Right.
right?
So we're smack dab in the start of it. And what it really means is give yourself extra time. You know, if you have a timed event, give yourself extra time because people's schedules might be a little wonky during this. Your technology, as we had with Mr. Leo, might be a little
Yeah,
bit.
Leo, that's crazy, right? I
Yeah.
didn't even
So
think of that.
back things up, you know, save things multiple places just in case. Because when we have slowdowns with communication, it's often happening more and more to show us, okay, you're so distracted by this technology. You're not taking things slowly enough to be paying attention to the signs or the spiritual things or your own intuition like you need to.
Right.
So you're going to have a little bit of a hiccup so that you can slow down and have a chance to redo something or do it right in the highest way. People's communication also tends to be very odd during this time. So this is coinciding with a lot of other things that are happening astrologically. Now, when we have an astrological event, although we are autonomous, spiritually sovereign beings, and we can experience anything we want or need at any time, astrological events are kind of like, the way I say it is when we have an energy update or energy upgrade or astrological thing that's happening, it's very similar now to how people understand when you get that notification that your phone has an update. That is a
Ah,
universal update that
oh, I
has to
love
be
that.
done, you know, and so you have the option and the opportunity to maybe postpone it for a little
Right.
while, but eventually, you know, you have to
It's
do it.
inevitable.
Yes, and everybody's getting it at once, at least the option to do it at once. So when we have an
Wow.
astrological event, that's kind of a collective code that's going out there poking everyone in the same direction, saying, "Hey, you have the opportunity to work on these things in a more fluid way." And so now we have these communication things with Mercury retrograde, which means people are more quick to misunderstand each other. You're more quick to have breakups, unfortunately, especially with how it's going to coincide with the eclipse.
Wow,
Things,
really?
yeah, things that are no longer in
Whoa.
alignment with you and with your highest self are going to start to fall away. And so you're going to start to notice differences in communication. Now, during a Mercury retrograde, you want to give people as much of the benefit of the doubt and yourself as much of the benefit of the doubt as you can. People are, like I said, more quick to be annoyed and not have their words as capable as they would normally be. But this is also a time when you'll start seeing into things in terms of, hey, we don't gel the way we used to. We keep missing the mark with each other. Things just
Ah,
feel very shifted.
wow. And Ned Zito says, or fortunately, we hold on, we hold on to relationships we shouldn't.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting.
When I
Um,
work with people, I like to remind them that, especially if I'm working with couples or families, a lot of times we keep picturing, especially if we deal with any codependency, we keep
mm,
picturing either who the people were or
wow.
how we would like the people to be. And we're not actually seeing them for who they are at that point.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. And it's hard because if you are having any sort of relationship difficulty, you tend to judge them depending on what your relationship is with them, on either who they used to be and you're judging them against that person, or who you wish they would be, or who you believe they are capable of being, which is very dangerous, to hold
Wow.
someone up to that yardstick of who you think they're capable of being. You have to
Right.
remember they're not that person yet, or they're not that person anymore. And you have to make
Right.
your decisions based off of who they continuously show up as in the now.
I love that. And also, like, I'm a big advocate of one day at a time. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been sober a long time, and that's how we live, one day at a time. And I always it helps me with so many things, and it kind of goes back to that, because you have to take even the day at face value,
Yes.
and some days are going to be different, or some days you're going to react differently to something that you normally would have reacted positively to, or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, Now, Annette, we're gonna fix that. Don't you worry. We're gonna fix that. There was some snag. She was trying to get onto your site.
Oh,
She
So,
okay.
got in.
oh,
She
she
got
got
in.
in. Okay.
Yep.
So
Thank
I
you.
want to talk about that right now. So, everybody, Danielle, yes, is our friend. Danielle is a beautiful person that is giving and talks to us all the time, and gives us so much insight and all that. But what's also so amazing about Danielle is she has very, very, very special and distinctive gifts that the average person does not have. And um, if you are someone that is interested in this kind of thing, um, Danielle has so many different services that she does. Danielle, I'm going to have you talk about what you do, because I always raving about you, but you tell us what you do and how people can get a hold of you.
Thank you. So I know we're talking about astrology. I do want to preface saying I use astrology as one of the tools when I talk to big collectives and groups of people so that it resonates where they're at, but I don't personally do full chart readings. If you want someone for that, I have a very, very special friend who does it if you're looking for a specific astrology reading. But the way I work, as Maria knows, my most popular offering is the quantum session. And that is where we really are very comprehensive. I work with what's called the quantum field. So I work with your personal energy field, as well as with your loved ones in spirit and your higher self, which is the bigger part of your soul, your spirit guides. And so in the quantum session, we can really address, and there it is there are several different time slots available, and we can address your questions that you have psychically, and we can also mediumistically bring through loved ones in spirit. When loved ones come through, it's always very healing with the messages, because I am also primarily an energy healer. So even in my readings, they come through with that intent and that baseline of when we're giving messages, they're going to be healing as well. And it's one of the favorite things that I do is to watch it be healing for the person here getting the reading, but also for the spirits on the other side, that get to lighten their load and have that pattern that they're addressing, or that message that never got to come through, get off their heart and become healed for people on both sides of life. So the quantum session people love the most.
I
And then
loved it.
other ones as well, where I read from your Akashic records. So I have Akashic records and past life readings. I have a quickie reading there. If you have one burning question that you want an answer on, you can get a channeling on that, or a spirit animal.
I loved it. I got that. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah. And then I also have spirit animal medicine shamanic journey sessions, which are longer on Zoom, where we get you answers from your spirit animal guides. And I also teach you how to connect with them live and take you on a meditation journey to connect with them in a healing way.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Danielle, now everybody, I'm not just saying this because Danielle is my friend. I am saying this because it completely. I had my session with Danielle, a quantum session, maybe like a year and a half ago, Danielle, something like that.
A couple of years ago now.
Was it a couple years ago? Okay.
Yeah.
I am not kidding when I say that it completely shifted my life. And what I mean by that is that it changed the way that I felt about my connection to the universe. It shifted the way I looked at my own life. It softened so much of my anger, my intensity in a negative way, it really like kind of like took that. And the things that you said that session, I wrote down all of them, but Danielle will also does record it for you as well.
Yes, everything's
And
recorded.
yeah, and you can go back and watch it a million times, listen to it. But I write things down. Even if Danielle and I have a phone conversation, for Christ's sakes, I have pages. I'm serious. I'm like, hold on, D, I got to get a pen. Because she says so many amazing, interesting things that I have to write them down. And then you may in that moment be like, I don't know about that. And then like literally 2 weeks later, you're like, oh my God, that's what that was. So I cannot say enough about Danielle's work. You please think about doing something nice for yourself and getting sessions, quantum session. I had a spirit animal reading. I also gave it as gifts.
Yes.
So I gave it to many, many people because I said, if I am feeling this good and this loved, because I got to connect with my people from the other side, I want to pass that love on to like my loved ones. So I did do quite a bit of that. Okay. Gene Simpson Dunn, my friend from high school, we've been friends for 40 years, says Danielle's quantum reading with me was mind-blowing.
Thank you, guys.
Now, may I just say that Jean is not one to waste words. She's an
And
Aquarius.
Jean is gifted as well. So
yes.
It means a lot as well.
Yes, Jean is gifted in a completely different way. And I know she's been working on her gifts a lot. So, Jean, that's fantastic. I'm so glad, honey. I'm so glad. And I know a lot of people, a lot of our friends, Rena and my Ziana, I got a session for Ziana. Yes. And forget it, Ziana's crazy about Danielle.
I love Ziana. I spoke to her Saturday.
Okay, you see what I mean? They're buddies now. Ziana says, Danielle's like one of us, right? She's like one of our family, right? Oh, yeah, she is. Because, I don't know if it's the Italian connection or what it is, but you're in the family now, Danielle.
She must be Italian because she laughs at all those Italian memes I send you guys. So she's got to be Italian, right?
Yes, oh, my God.
Very Italian.
And Danielle sent me a really funny meme for St. Joseph's Day. It was really great. Lynn Porter says, can't wait to meet you, Danielle.
I know. Lynn, we got to get you out here. We're all going to have lunch together.
Yes. And Lynn, I say this all the time. Doesn't Danielle remind you of Jackie? Jackie is her firstborn, yes. Who is she was my little baby when she was a kid. And now she's she's grown up to be this amazing doctor, and she's a healer too. So, yeah. But you remind me of Jackie so much.
I can't wait to meet everybody.
Oh, you're gonna love everybody, and everybody's gonna love you. I can't believe it, how late it is. We haven't done our food section.
I know. I have
you have food too, right? Let's do yours last because it's okay. Important. Okay, so what did I make tonight? I'm back on the keto.
Wait, we didn't say anything.
Oh shit, you're right. Okay, I know.
Lavinia, what's your language?
I know, and Rena would be very upset. So at the count of 3,
yes, Rena's got it too.
The section of our show called "Go ahead, keep eating." So 1, 2, 3. Go ahead,
keep eating.
Okay, that's a line from Raging Bull, by the way. If you don't know where that comes from, it's such a funny line in the movie. All right, well, Annette, no, she knows. Okay, so what did I make tonight? Yeah, doesn't that look pretty? So keeping with my keto, because I have to go back on it every once in a while just to keep my sugar low, keep my weight down and all that. But it also makes me feel good, and I like to get creative. So what I did tonight was I went and got some flounder. There's a great fish market around the corner from my house. And I made flounder cooked with lemon, dill, butter, white wine, Old Bay, which I love. I love my Old Bay, parsley, crushed red peppers. And then what I did was I put it over, I wilted some red cabbage and Vidalia onions. And so I put that on top and just with a little salt and pepper. And then my favorite, these are Brussels sprouts.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yes, I love Brussels sprouts. Here's Brussels sprouts. Here's the problem with the challenge with Brussels sprouts. They are sometimes a little bitter, right? My sister taught me the trick. You have to take off the outside leaves. Those are the bitter leaves. The inside leaves are not bitter, just the outside. So if you take off the outside leaves and then you chop them up, Brussels sprouts are amazing. What did I cook them with? I took Brussels sprouts, garlic, butter, garlic butter, and I added almonds, sliced almonds, which I know you can't have, Leo. So if I ever made them for you, I wouldn't put the almonds in there.
Mm.
And I used honey, hot honey from Trader Joe's,
Ooh.
just enough to give it a little bit of sweetness and not add too much sugar to the dish.
And
But
the spice.
and the spice. So now you have spicy hot, which I love, and they're phenomenal.
So you know how I do mine is I toss mine in olive oil and then sprinkle either chili powder
yeah,
or red pepper flakes.
yeah,
Put them in the oven and then bake them for 20 minutes so they're crunchy on
Beautiful.
the outside
I love
and
that.
mushy on the inside. But that I think it's that spice that takes the bitterness, kind of
Yes.
like it negates the bitterness.
But if I'm telling you, I've never done it before by taking the leaves off of it. It completely eliminated the bitterness. Completely. So the outside leaves, if you make Brussels sprouts, thanks to my sister Carla, she said, take off just the 4 outside leaves. And inside you get the very lighter green of that. Also, okay, Jean, thank you. Fig glaze on Brussels sprouts, Maria. Yes, I sent. I think I sent you some fig glaze. Did I send you some fig glaze, Jean? I think a while back, or balsamic. I can't remember, but fig is fantastic. And now Trader Joe's has fig butter.
Trader
Ooh.
Joe's also has sriracha seasoning, powdered
Yes.
sriracha seasoning now.
I use it
Oh,
all
really?
the time. It's so good. I use it instead of pepper a lot of times.
Yeah.
I love spice. Okay.
Maria, I forgot to tell you, I love you too. I know you said that in the middle of your meeting. You said I love my old gay, and I love you too.
Okay, good. Listen.
Obey, not old gay.
Oh,
Sorry.
It's funny that you should say that because I do love the old gays. Thank God for the old gays.
Yes.
These new gays they're on their phone too much, and I love you too, new gays. But the old gays, we had some conversations.
Hey, I haven't been on my phone the whole time.
Okay. Nancy Bizzotti has joined us, my friend from high school. Hi, Nancy. Good to see you. Nancy is a singer, and so she knows her stuff, and she's a great cook too. So she appreciates this stuff. Let me see if we missed anybody. Annette Zito was an amazing cook. Okay, I can't believe how this hour is
Say
flown.
hi.
How could that be?
Hi,
Now,
Kitty.
Danielle. Oh my God, is that Patches or Mama?
Yeah, that's Patches.
Patches. When Leo was moving and I helped him move, we packed my car full, and then the cats joined us at the very last second. I had no idea where they were going to go, but they loved Leo and they just hung around Leo. Now, Danielle, it was your birthday.
Yes.
March 31st, the last day of Women's History Month.
Yeah.
And you said you have a vegan piece of cake that you brought.
Yes. And also rainbow, because appropriate.
Appropriate, of course. So that is a vegan Italian rainbow cake?
Well, it's most people, I think it's more of a New York Italian thing, rainbow cookies. Because I talked to Ziana about it and she didn't know.
I never saw them until I came to New York. We don't have those really.
So I think it's mostly New York Italian Americans that love the rainbow cookies. And that was always my favorite. And then when I went vegan, I had a hard time finding them, but more people, thank you guys for saying happy birthday.
Yes.
More people are making them. And the place that I'm going to take you and Lynn, when you come out to Long Island, the Italian place, it's called Vinny's Pizzeria. It's in Levittown, New York, if anybody is looking. And he made me, this was actually a full bar. It was all the way this bigger. This is half, if you can believe it.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I would have eaten that. You're like you are a miracle worker because you made that last for 4 days. I would have eaten it in one sitting.
Yes, this is a piece of my birthday cake, and he made it so it's got like cake-like filling and then jam in between the layers, the rainbow layers, and then it's covered in chocolate.
Wow.
Is that a dark chocolate or a milk chocolate?
It's a dark chocolate. They mostly always do dark chocolate, but if it's not vegan, it may be a little bit lighter with some milk. This one doesn't.
What's the jam? What's the jelly in there?
The jam is.
Leo is loving this.
It's usually raspberry. It's usually a raspberry type jam.
Okay, I approve.
No nuts.
I approve of him. If he used raspberry, I approve.
Yes.
Now,
I shall allow it.
Speaking of jams, we want to remind you that our friend Ken of Ken's Perfect Jams.
Yeah.
Perfect is with a K. Makes amazing jellies and jams and preserves and butters and all that stuff. And if you want to send a nice gift, go to Ken's Perfect Jams and order. And they're so reasonable, and everything is made fresh. And when he runs out of a batch, he runs out. It just says sold out. So it's not stuff sitting on shelves forever or anything like that.
They're
And
really great. The apple one was my favorite, I think. And
The apple butter?
The Maria's was always very good. And
Yeah.
the Pride Jam was very good too.
Those are my favorites.
Mhm.
So the Pride Jam is like sangria or something. It's so good. And I love that. And then the Maria Jam, he asked me what my flavors were, and I chose apple, pear, and ginger. And so that's the Maria Jam. But he's got so many. Also, you like the hibiscus, right, Leo?
Hibiscus, and then the double B berry. I can
Yeah.
sit with not a sugar cookie, a butter cookie, or
Yeah.
a cracker, and I can have and just dip, eat. I told Ken every time we talk on the phone, I'm like, "You're killing me."
No.
You're killing me. It's horrible. What's new?
No, you and I, Leo, we could never be roommates. We would be 7,000 pounds. No, not going to happen.
No, well, I would eat more salads though, because you would have more salads. So.
Yes, I love salads. Speaking of which, let's show my salad, and then we're going to have to sign off soon. Okay, so here's my salad tonight. It is romaine. I know, doesn't that look tasty?
So
Romaine.
fancy.
I
know.
tried. I knew you were going to be on the show,
Decor.
Danielle, and it was your birthday. So romaine lettuce, red onion, beets, which I love, red baby beets, sliced Parmesan cheese, and I have apples here. I am going to do a honey ginger, balsamic vinegar, and a Tuscan herb olive oil. That's what I'm going to put on that.
Thank you, Annette. I appreciate that.
What did Annette say?
Leo
She meant the salad. I think she meant the salad. Sorry.
Oh my God. What did Rena say? Bakeries around Boston do have the rainbow cookies, but they are not as big as they are in New York.
Well, this is abnormal. Normally a cookie would be like this thick, maybe.
Yeah.
But he made bigger because that's what I wanted for my cake.
You know what we have to do? We have to have one of these days when Rena and Ziana come visit, which they will, and then we'll get Annette. We'll get all our friends. I'm going to have another party. I have to have another party. Danielle, you are invited. You're top of that list.
Let's see. By the way, let's see behind you. Let's look at
well,
that.
I can't go all the way because I still have just a couple of things that I haven't found places for yet, and I'm deciding like if I'm going to put them, at my sister's. I might put stuff in my sister's attic because my dream is to have a nice, clean place, and I'm trying.
It looks like I love I feel like they redid the arch a little bit, like they sharpened the edges. It seems like.
I don't know. Maybe they did, but they painted. It used to be green. Remember, now it's white. However, this is the exciting thing. And I was talking to my friend Jerry Schiffer last night, and he's already working on it. He's making me a neon sign that says, "What's the story with Maria?" And it can change color seasonally. So that's going to be right behind us there. So that's why I haven't put the lights back up.
Underneath it, is it going to say no vacancy?
Who knows? It might. All right. We can't go on too much longer because then we get cut off in the podcast, and I don't want that to happen. Right. I want to thank Dan Pardo, our sweet friend who joined us early in the show. If you want to go to the Mac Awards, just go to macnyc.com, and there's a link to tickets. It's at Symphony Space. Dan Pardo, DanPardo.com. He does so many amazing things. If you want to find Danielle, and you would be doing yourself such a favor if you did, you want to go to, I'll let you say it, Danielle.
You can go to my website, DanielleAlexandriaAlchemy.com, which Leo has there. And you will find all the different types of sessions. I have couples sessions as well. And you can also gift any session that you see. You can purchase it. And then there are instructions on how we can get it as a gift certificate to someone. And there's also links if you would like to contact me for quantum energy healing, where we can work on your patterns, your ancestral stuff, your goals that you have for manifesting. I really am passionate about going very, very deep with people, inner child work, and all sorts of stuff we could probably do a whole nother show on.
Oh my God. And it's amazing. And I gave a lot of spirit animal readings as gifts too. To me, here's how I look at it. I got so much joy out of what Danielle does that I was like, I feel so good. I want someone else to feel good too. So I thought instead of spending a lot of money on people for things they may or may not wear or need, how about getting someone's joy and hope and like the next level of feeling good about themselves. So anyway, that's the story. Okay, Danielle, thank you. Leo, thank you. Everybody out there, thank you. We love and appreciate you. We'll see you every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Thank you, guys.